Hello and welcome to part 3 of my capstone presentation, where we will be discussing deployment, additional features, see an app demonstration, and we'll finish off with some reflections. My application is both deployed and hosted through render.com, and all requests are using Postman. I created 2 services for my application, a static site for the front end and a web service for the back end. I did this to be as efficient and organized as possible to make the debugging process easier. My troubleshooting process mainly consisted of looking at the build logs. When there was an error, I would add a console log to see what was happening, as well as inspect my elements for any specific fault that might have fallen between the cracks. To troubleshoot these errors, I would look for information on render documentation using sites like Stack Overflow. For my additional features, I added an admin user functionality to the Create Account page. On the back end, I made it so that only admin users have access to all users, and on the front end, only admins can see the All Data page. I added this feature because I figured that in a real-life banking application, a patron user wouldn't have access to such data, only administrator or an employee would. Alrighty, now let's move on to the app demonstration. Alrighty, this is my banking app. This is First Bank West. Here's the home page, and we have a base logo with a description of what the bank does and their mission statement and some of the things in which they offer. To hark back to video 1, when I was talking about the UI design, I mentioned how I used Illustrator to make a base template that I would use within my actual application. And so what that actually is within this front homepage is everything that is covered in blue. So basically this entire homepage, including the text, including the little logos and stuff, all of that is an Illustrator file that has been turned into a JPEG and then uploaded into my application. It makes my asset management considerably easier because if I want to make any changes, I can just slip into Illustrator, make those quick little changes, then just swap out the images, and it's done like that. It's super easy. All right, now let's go into actually running the app. We'll go into create account here, and we'll make a quick account. As I go along, I'm going to show you some of the fail-safe triggers that we have put within this application. So I will be doing some fails on purpose. We'll start with nothing. We'll put nothing in there first, and the first thing it'll say is we need a name. All right, let's see what it says now. We're getting an error message and saying we need an email. And now it's asking for a password. Let me try that again. No. Success. There we go. And now we can see Norman Bates is logged in. He can deposit money and withdraw. let's go in and try to do a deposit. So currently, all of my users are set up to have a balance of $100 when they start their first account. Let's go ahead. I'm going to do that same fail trigger just to show you that there are some fail safes in place. Let's go ahead and start with please enter a numerical value. Perfect. And then we'll try a negative number like -50. Yet, please enter a positive amount. And then notice those fills go away after a few seconds. I wanted to make sure that that was not constantly there. And then let's go, we did a negative number, we did a word. Let's go with, we'll just do a regular deposit then. We'll go with $50. Keep it simple. Okay, success. We'll go ahead and hit new deposit, and then you can see that the balance has been updated. So now you have $150. All right, now let's go into withdraw, and you can see that the current balance is $150, which is exactly what we said we had. And we'll go in and we'll do that same failsafe that we just did. Okay, let's go with hello. And we got, please enter a numerical value. We'll go -50. Please enter a positive amount. We'll go insufficient funds. And then now we'll just go ahead and pull out 50. Perfect, success. Withdraw. And now we have the balance is 100. Perfect. And then we'll just go ahead and go back to the home page, and that's that. And then you can log out. All right. I want to also go in and show you that you can log back in as a pre-existing user. So we'll go ahead and say, try that again. I don't know what's going on with that. Let me try somebody who's already in there. There we go. So you can see Jim Jones is logged in. He's a prior existing person that we didn't just make. And then he can deposit, withdraw, and log out just the same as anyone else. Okay, real quick, I would like to go over that extra functionality that I added, which is the ability to do the admin, which remember we did through create account. So we'll just call them admin, and we'll go account success. Perfect. And now up at the top, you can see deposit, withdraw, and now that all data. So now we'll go into the all data, and then now you have a list of all the users within my database. All right, let's log out. That concludes the app demonstration portion. We'll go back to the presentation. Now for some final reflections. One challenge I faced in this project was a CORS issue. When in the front and back end weren't communicating with each other, I added a CORS module to the back end and was able to set that request. So if I started this project over again today, one thing I would do on the front end would be to reorganize my components so that pages had their own folder and smaller components like navbar would be in the components folder. I wanted to place more emphasis on the process and the general organization as I struggle heavily with just navigating and reorienting myself. Some additional features I would add would be the ability to transfer funds between users. I would improve the authentication by using JSON web tokens when a user logs in. And I would also use bcrypt to hash my passwords. That concludes part 3 of my full stack banking application presentation, and thus the end of my project. I very much appreciate your time and attention and hope it was informative and engaging. Thank you.